do with the development that is now underway with regards to the apartment units next to Food City. And I'm wondering if a traffic impact study has been done and the status. I shop locally, and I'm very concerned with the potential traffic that we're going to see. And, you know, it's a very small stretch of road between the road that you turn onto where the apartments will be located. And I guess I'd like some kind of assurance that you're working on this, because I see this as being a potential traffic nightmare. It's already extremely hard to get across from leaving Food City to go across to Walmart. Sometimes it may take, I don't know, minutes for that traffic to move. So that's a concern that I have. So if you would address that. And then the other concern that I have has to do with the legal cost on the annexation. I have an idea of what it's costing on the county side, although it's been 5 or 6 months that I've made a records request for that. But it was quite expensive. And I'm just wondering, as someone said, the taxpayers lose all the way around. And I'm wondering, what is the cost to the city taxpayers for the city annexation?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Let me address the traffic study. And Mr. Simpson, you correct me if I'm wrong, does all or most of the development, this particular one that she's speaking about, does the planning commission not require a traffic study, and was one done, or do you recall?
Yes, sir, it is required. Now, whether it's been done, I don't know, it will be.
Okay.
It has been requested.
I thought they got done prior to approval, but I may be wrong, but the answer is, Ms. Hunter, I believe that it was done. Now, I wish Ms. Collins was here, she could tell us, and I'll be happy if you want to contact Ms. Kelso tomorrow. We'll find that answer for you. I will tell you too, that City Council approved the second phase of the CMAQ grant for the traffic signalization. And it's already helped tremendously on 321 and Broadway. And it will, the second phase, the traffic signals will be able to communicate with one another on Broadway and 321, counting the one that's going to be installed at City Park Drive and 321. Is that not right, Ms. Kelso?
Yes, that's correct. And also there's two more, one at Eaton Crossroads, Highway 70 and 321 at Eaton Elementary, North Middle, and also down at Love's, truck stop at I-40.
So obviously we're receiving grant monies for that, as well as the grant monies for the signalization at City Park Drive and 321. There's nobody, it irritates more than I or City Council as far as the slow process. We realize that, and I apologize for that, but there's just not a thing that we can do about it when you're dealing with state funds and federal funds. You know, the state of Tennessee, we wanted to use the light poles that was taken down on the 321 improvements, and I think they've called 4 or 5 times, and it's been down several times to inspect those poles, the ones that was taken down on 321, because we're going to use them at City Park Drive and 321. So, you know, they're in the same place they've always been, and they're as good condition as they've always been. They're in a pole yard, but so that's just some of the red tape that you have to deal with, and we're sorry. Back on the Food City development, you know, there's some what I call weekend warriors, or weekend or keyboard warriors that bashes the city because it's supposed to be low to medium apartments. Well, that's not the case. They're high-end apartments. Obviously, the city put a moratorium on future development in that regard. There's also a shopping center that goes in there. There's also some very big box stores, and I'm not at liberty to say who they are, that's looking at that and looking at the development across the street as well. So, you know, you've got to have the population for those to have better restaurants and to have bigger box stores. You know that. So city council's trying to balance that and to have the right population and to do the right thing. So, thank you for your comments, thank you for your concerns. Again, if you'll call her, Ms. Kelso tomorrow, we'll be happy to, but I'm almost certain that has been done.
That is part of the procedure, but call me tomorrow, contact me tomorrow, and I will get you the answer.
Beth is usually here, I don't know where she's at.
She doesn't have an item, so
Okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
rarely does she not, it's rare that she doesn't have an item, so.
All right, any other business?
We also got
The legal cost question about the annexation.
The legal cost, obviously, you have received, and at your request, I know from talking with you, that what the county has spent several months ago, and it's very expensive. I don't like it, and I tried to avoid that, and tried to compromise with the county, personally and professionally, and ask county commission not to do it. They can raise our property taxes, but they're out spending thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars suing another city government, and it's the taxpayers that's gonna lose. You're exactly right. Mr. Jones has said it, I've said it, city council has said it, Mr. Johnson has said it, and it's going to continue to cost, because, in my opinion, they won't give an inch. And we believe we was in the right. There was a lawsuit incurred between Lenoir City Utilities in 2003 or 4, involving Lenoir City Utilities and the structure of a water tank on that property out there, the Harris property, Ross property. And in that lawsuit, and this has been brought up, I'm not going to try it here tonight, but I want it to be clear. In that lawsuit, the county representation that they had, the planner at the time had, said this property could be annexed. The Harris family, the Ross family, and their heirs or successors could annex that property if requested by the city. The county employee signed off on that lawsuit. The judge signed off on it, and that was in 2003 or 2004. And that was only brought before city council at the request of the Harris family that property be annexed. And that was I believe that was you remember, was it Chancery Court or Circuit Court?
I believe it's circuit.
I think it was. It was Chancery or Circuit 1 that lawsuit happened involving Lenoir City Utilities and the structure of a water tank that serviced the county residents in that area, along with many others. But that was the main thing that Lenoir City needed that. And so when we took the property by eminent domain, a lawsuit was filed and it was settled. And part of the settlement was, if they requested, it could be annexed, and the county signed off on it. What are we fighting about? There's been nothing done out there except Lenoir City Utilities just spent $600,000 putting gas in. That was another part of the agreement. That Lenoir City would put in gas if requested. The developers requested it. As far as I'm concerned, they can come in and start getting building permits and build on it. It's inside the corporate limits, has been for 4 years. I don't know where it's going to head. Maybe it'll go to the Tennessee Supreme Court. There'll be a law of appeals on one side or the other, I can assure you. So it is costing a lot of money, and I really hate that. But the owner, Dan Smith, who adjoins this particular piece of property, told me himself, Mayor, I've not spent any money out there. I wanted it inside the city simply because I thought it would be worth more money. I'm leaving it to my kids' future. If you want to de-annex it, I'm okay with it. I passed that on to the county. I passed it on to most county commissioners. I passed it on to the county attorney. I passed it on to Mr. Jones. He passed it on. We'll de-annex it, or I'll ask the city council to de-annex it. But we are not, unless city council tells me differently, going to de-annex the other property. I threw them a bone, a compromise, asked them to do it to save everybody money, save on the county side and the city side. They chose not to do that. They chose to move forward. So that's where we're at on it. And it's unfortunate that it's gonna be in court for many, many months, as I see it. Okay, I've rambled on long enough.
Mayor, you didn't answer the question. Are you aware of the attorney fees that have been incurred so far?
I'm sorry?
I said, you didn't answer Ms. Hunter's question. She asked about the amount of attorney fees that have been incurred in the county city lawsuit, and you didn't get around to answering
Yeah,
that question.
thank you. I don't know as far as the city's lawsuit. I'm assuming that Mr. Jones will, and I don't know if he's still here or not, is he? I'm assuming that he will eventually submit a bill, whether to be when it's over with, it's entirely up to him. As far as what the county does, who knows what the county, Ms. Hunter knows how much they've spent several months ago, up to so much. I think it was in that neighborhood of 300,000. Is that right?
It was 142,000,
Okay, 142, and that was when?
5 or 6 months ago.
5 or 6 months ago. So we've been to court several times since then. I have no idea. But again, I want to stress that the county employee in 2003 or 4 signed off on the agreement with Lenoir City Utilities and the Harris Ross family that property would be annexed at the request of that family or their heirs. They did that. They only exercised their right in requesting be annexed. So that's what this city does. And so anyhow, that's where we're at on it. All right, have a motion to pay the bills.
Make a motion for all bills to be paid when properly approved and the funds are available.
Have a motion, Ms. Wampler, we pay the bills, have a second. Second, Mr. Brandon, or the Vice Mayor, Ms. Levon, roll call.
Henline. Kennedy. Wampler. Shields. Brandon. Simpson.
Be no further business, have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion, Mr. Henline, do I have a second? Second, Mr. Kennedy, roll call, Ms. Levon.
Henline. Kennedy. Wampler. Shields. Brandon. Simpson.
We're adjourned, thank y'all.